Hello, this is Spartan Commander, and this is the 54th Rome Total War Brotherhood battle that I put onto YouTube. Today I thought I would do something a little bit different and show a 2v2 battle. I've shown a lot of 4v4s and a lot of 3v3s, but today I thought a 2v2 might be a little bit different. This game was fought approximately 2 years ago, and the team I'm in today consists of myself, Spartan Commander, and Brotherhood member Pompey, who has bought the Rome Brutii faction. So that's our 2v2 team there. Me with the SBQR and Pompey with the Brutii. Should be a great battle to watch. And here is the team we're facing today. They are COH Tacitus, the Master, and COH Angry Pig. And these two players are extremely experienced and really good RTW players. So the COH versus the BH should be a great battle to watch. Just like to draw your attention to 4 archers there in the Julii army. Let's see what difference they make. At this early stage of the battle, you can see that I'm taking my SBQR army towards the Rome Julii, the enemy Rome Julii army there. And the reason for that is because I've noticed that with his 4 archers, he's obviously going to probably start shooting my cavalry or moving his archers out to my right flank and shooting into the side of my infantry. So what I thought was best to be aggressive here and not just stand there and let him be able to do that. As you see, I pulled my cavalry back there as they're becoming under archer fire there. As you see, the Julii cavalry are in wedge formation out to my right. Probably looking for a chance to try and charge into the flank of my army there. And of course I've got my cavalry behind my infantry there, just watching them. Now what I've decided to do is I'm going to attack the Julii cavalry with 2 units of infantry as backup here. I was hoping that the enemy cavalry would charge in and take the challenge, and then I would throw in my 2 infantry units there, 2 or 3 infantry units there, and start to rout some of their cavalry. But wisely, the Julii cavalry have decided to retreat there. And the problem with doing that was that of course those archers now are probably going to get some free shots on my cavalry. If you notice, my Brotherhood teammate Pompey has brought his cavalry out in support as well, and is actually bringing over some infantry units as well. And you'll see that the other enemy Julii general has brought his cavalry over in support of his teammate too. So the right flank seems to be really active at the moment. You see, I'm taking some of my infantry units towards the enemy archer units there, backed up with both of our cavalry, just to keep forcing those archers back. The last thing you want to do in battle is to allow those archers to do what they want, because they'll position themselves just right for them, where they can cause you the most casualties on your flanks or aim at your cavalry. Notice Pompey just charged in his cavalry there and routed that Julii unit. And if you notice that our infantry units had shielded that cavalry hit, so that no enemy cavalry could come in and counter that attack. If you notice, I'm sending my SBQR cavalry off again, hoping that maybe the Julii cavalry will turn and fight. I've got my 3 infantry units there ready to move across if needed. And if you notice that Pompey's brought his cavalry over in support as well. And there you can see the Julii cavalry are now charging into my SBQR cavalry there. I'm now going to run 3 infantry units over. If you notice, I kept the infantry units a bit away from the cavalry there, hoping that maybe they might decide to attack, and then I'm going to run my infantry over. And if I can just hold there long enough for Pompey's cavalry to hit, we're going to rout some of the Julii cavalry there. If you notice, the other Julii general's bringing his cavalry over now as well. And now, if you notice that Pompey's going to hit him with his cavalry, and I've got don't forget, I've got 3 SBQR infantry units there. And if you notice that the other Julii cavalry are waiting to charge in as well. And with my SBQR infantry there, I'm just hoping to deflect that cavalry charge a bit as I charge my own SBQR cavalry in. Now with Pompey's cavalry my cavalry and those infantry that I've got there, we might start routing a few of those Julii cavalry units there. If you notice, Pompey's bringing some infantry over as well, some more infantry over as well. We've kind of got those Julii cavalry in a bit of a sandwich there. And yes, they're starting to rout now. If you notice that some of the Julii infantry support units have moved over as well, some of their infantry, but our main aim here is to try and rout as many of those Julii cavalry as we can, because I think those of you that have seen other battle videos of mine have known that if you can actually kill the enemy cavalry and you've got a lot of cavalry left, you can just roam the battlefield as you want, hitting targets where you think is best. And so that's what we're trying to do here, to try and kill all the Julii cavalry if we can. If you noticed, Pompey's brought some of his infantry units over to my flank here, and both Pompey and myself have decided to fight an aggressive battle here, as you may have noticed right from the beginning. When a team in front of you, especially in a 2v2, have got lots of archers, as I said earlier, you don't really want to give them the advantage and let them dictate the battle. You need to take the battle to them, really. And I think, as you've seen there, we've tried to do that. As you see now, the Julii infantry on this right flank are starting to move back a little bit. They're trying to consolidate both armies here, trying to keep as close as they can so they can support each other. That's a good move.
They're attacking us! We're being attacked! We're being attacked!
As you can see, I'm throwing a couple of SPQR units forward to attack the Julii infantry there.
They're attacking us!
If you notice at the back there, I've moved my SPQR cavalry back because of archer fire. Now you notice I've engaged the Julii infantry to give Pompey a chance here to charge in with his cavalry. If you charge in with his cavalry, we're going to rout several of those Julii infantry units there, which we've done. That was a great move by Pompey there, and it was kind of like you've seen in other battle videos that we've done, the hammer and anvil attack there. My infantry were holding those Julii infantry while his cavalry acted as a hammer and smashed into them and routed them. So that was a great move. Now if you notice here, my SPQR cavalry, I've gone maybe a little bit too aggressive here, and I'm a little bit exposed out there seeing all that Julii cavalry coming in on me. The best thing for me to do is to basically run away as fast as my cavalry will go, because otherwise I'm going to lose probably all my cavalry there. So I'm going to retreat away from that cavalry there. And if you notice now that Pompey's bringing his cavalry out, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to slow down a little bit there on my cavalry, just to try and encourage the Julii cavalry to come over, then stop, and then counterattack, bang, straight in, and then allowing Pompey's cavalry then to charge straight in as well. So we're going to rout, hopefully, this Julii cavalry, and there we are. That was a great bit of team play there by the two Brotherhood members there, myself and Pompey, if you don't mind me saying. It was great move there. And so that's that Julii cavalry taken care of. As you can see, they've still got cavalry left, but that was our main consideration here, is try and knock out as many of their cavalry as we can. So meanwhile, back to the battle here, you can see that our infantry now are drawn up and ready for some action there at the moment. It's this game's looking a bit tactical at the moment. We just have to see kind of that old saying, who's going to blink first and move. But at the moment, looking at the cavalry situation, I think we've definitely got the advantage there. At this stage of the battle, you'll see that I'm sending my infantry round on a right flanking action here, moving round to the right there, while Pompey is actually fighting some of the Julii units head on, as you can see there. And he's going to charge his cavalry. Now hopefully when that cavalry hits those engaged enemy infantry, it's going to rout them. Let's see what happens here. And bang, there you go. As his cavalry hit, it routed that unit. Now wisely, he didn't go on to the next Julii infantry, because there was a line of Julii infantry stood behind them. Now they may have pilers, they may not, but they would have charged in and probably caused him a lot of casualties with his cavalry. So that was a good move by Pompey to pull back there. but you can still see his infantry are still engaged. Right, now he's decided he's going to charge head on into those fighting Julii units. Can you see there are some Julii units that are throwing pilers in? But as Pompey charges into that little battle there, he's routed a couple of the units there. As you see, I've taken some one of my SBQR infantry units over there as well to support Pompey. That was a nice little cav hit by Pompey, smashed straight in and then back out again. But we must be aware that they've still got those 4 good archer units behind their lines. That they're, you know, you might not be able to see it, but they're actually peppering our cavalry there, making us keep our cavalry out of range a bit. So those archers are doing quite a good job. As you can see, I brought some more SBQR infantry over to my left here to help support Pompey there. If you notice, the enemy Julii cavalry are moving out to our left there. Pompey's already spotted that, and he's got some cavalry out. He's got his cavalry out there, plus he's moving his infantry back a little bit as well, in anticipation of maybe a cavalry hit there on his left. Now, if you notice, he's going in with his cavalry there, hoping that Julii cavalry would go in against his cavalry because Pompey's taking infantry units over. But wisely, the Julii cavalry are retreating again. That was a good move by Julii, because if they'd have fought his cavalry there with the infantry coming in, they would have probably lost. Here you can see I'm sending my SBQR cavalry in here in the hope of routing those 2 engaged Julii infantry units there. They spotted that, and if you notice, they started to run back before the cavalry managed to hit, but I still managed to rout 1 of those Julii infantry units there. And don't forget, all the time that I'm retreating my cavalry out there, those archers are firing arrows onto my cavalry, so I'm losing several cavalry there as those archers are firing onto me there. If you notice, I'm moving my infantry round to the right a little bit more here, and the enemy are turning kind of outwards to meet the threat of my infantry. Here you can see I'm now attacking the Julii infantry that are in front of me. And meanwhile, over on our left, you'll see that the Julii cavalry and Pompey's cavalry and some of his infantry are fighting over there. If you notice, I'm bringing my SBQR cavalry in for a charge here, which I'm hoping is going to rout some of their infantry. But if you notice, they've anticipated that and they're running their infantry back before my cavalry gets a chance to hit them. So sometimes moving your infantry back before a cavalry hits that you think might rout your unit is a good move there, and you've just seen that happen there. That was quite a good move. If you notice now, I'm going to take my cavalry, or what's left of my cavalry, through the main army, and I'm going to try and hit their archers there. You notice their an archer unit there? I'm going to try and hit that. But really what I want to do is come right through that archer unit and smash into the back of this Julii cavalry with Julii infantry with my cavalry there. And if you notice, as my cavalry charges in, they land with a bit of impact, but unfortunately there's not a lot of cavalry left. I haven't got a lot left there, so a lot of their charge bonus wouldn't have done anything there because there's just so few of them. But I'm still going to keep pressing the attack. If you notice, the Julii cavalry are coming in on our left flank now to charge straight in there. But we've managed to soak up that cavalry hit there.
And now his men fear us. It is time to press.
My guess is they'll start routing, or they'll all die pretty quick. And there you go. They've all died. And I think all that's basically left of the Julii army now are some archers. It's just those archer units left now. There might be some broken infantry units elsewhere on the battlefield, but I think that that's probably the end of the battle there.
Perhaps, but victory all the same.
Well, that was a really intense 2v2 battle there. I think with a 2v2 you can actually see, you can really concentrate on what the players are doing, and you can be, you can see everything that's going on there. As I said, I've got plenty of 4v4s and several 3v3s on our YouTube battle channel, but no 2v2s I don't think, so I thought I'd put this 2v2 on just to let you have a look. I thought the other team, the COH team, played absolutely brilliantly, and I'd just like to say really well done to Pompey for great teamwork and great team play. And I thought both of us did try to be a little bit aggressive there, played a little bit more of an aggressive game than maybe we usually do. This Spartan Commander saying see you soon.